Let me tell you something else. We're going to see more of this agitation stuff going on, too. It's important that you keep in mind what's happening. We're trying to go through a real fundamental change here, which means the American left hissing and writhing is not going to have much left to do but just create chaos, and it's unsettling, and I think all of us should be girded for that. The entire Democrat playbook and their cheat book, their funding, from Act Blue to USAID, Democrats have been exposed. Their spigot of funding has been turned off. And there's a good chance we're going to see some short-term chaos because of it. Couple that with X. Look at the attack on X yesterday as Exhibit A. The attack on X was not an accident. The timing was not an accident. Billionaire entrepreneur and Doge chief Elon Musk claiming yesterday that X went dark as the result of a massive cyber attack that originated in, well, I'll let you hear it from him if you didn't hear it yesterday. He went on Larry Kudlow's show, cut number 951, and he was asked about this. Larry did a great interview with Elon, incidentally. Asked him what he thinks was going on there with X. Take a listen.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. Yes. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Aha. What do we mean? What do we glean from that? Cyber attacks originating from Ukraine. Can't imagine why that would be. Again, sowing chaos is what the left does better than anybody else. They're a machine about it. And what we know is there is a huge interest in this country to see money continuing to flow to Ukraine without end. Donald Trump wants to do what? Bring that to a close. A bunch of leftists got in little Zelensky's ear when he came here and visited a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, you go in there and you rough Trump up a little bit. That went poorly. Trump threw him out of the White House and said, call me when you're ready to talk. And, of course, he did yesterday by saying, I'm sorry. Can we talk? This chaos. And so I'm sure they've, I'm not suggesting, I can't prove it. I'm not suggesting the X hiccup came directly from the government of Ukraine or anything like that. But there are obviously interests that are very, very angry at what's happening here. This is we went through this in 2016. That wasn't supposed to happen either. And what did 2016 give us? I wasn't with you prior to, at least on the national show. I was not with you prior to this. But if you were listening to my show on Philadelphia's AM 990 The Answer when I was doing that show, we talked about this. That this isn't going to be like Trump. If Trump, I used to say, if Trump should be victorious, don't think they're just going to lay down and quit. Democrats never lay down and quit. As we've talked, they've struggled to find a message. They can't figure out how to make guys like Elon and Trump and this Doge effort unpopular because it's not unpopular. So they're going to go to a plan B at some point, and we may be watching it now, which is let's just start sowing chaos. And they've done it before. Remember pallets of bricks being delivered on street corners and George Floyd riots? Here's another exhibit in my point today. This arrest of this Mohammed Khalil yesterday in Colombia. They're going to make this a thing. Hey, hey, ho, ho. And then all of a sudden we're going to hear about Trump rounding up, like a bunch of Nazis, rounding up people that don't agree with him. This guy is an anti-Semite. He's a virulent, non-citizen anti-Semite. They're going to make him out to be Martin Luther King by the time this thing is over. The chaos is on purpose. They have to have something to talk about. They don't want to talk about Act Blue. And they don't want to talk about USAID. And they don't want to talk about a phony economy. 9:52. Here's Elon talking about this very thing with Larry Kudlow. Take a listen.
That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here and then turning them into voters.
Yes.
So this is why the Democrats are so upset about the situation, because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will leave, and they'll lose voters.
So, and if you turn off the gigantic money spigot, you lose activist money, and you lose your funding for all your Marxist organizing efforts. This is a big job. It's hard. And the people that are entrenched and benefiting from this are probably decades in the making. This is a big, heavy lift Trump's engaged in. Again, patience is required.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.